the most complimented and in general best clones for men. There are a lot of different options for men in terms of fragrance, but I kind of narrowed it down to a list here. And I'm going to start with two from the same brand. Actually, three from the same brand. Dior. Dior, I suppose, is probably one of the most renowned fragrance houses for both men and women. So, the first, this is Dior Homme. This is also Dior Homme, specifically the intense version. Then, the other one, Tobacco Color. So all these are from Dior. Specifically, I'm going to talk about just the regular Dior Homme first. So this is specifically Dior Homme Original. I don't believe they make this exact one anymore, but they still have just the regular Dior Homme, which still, looks like this bottle. Dior Homme has a really delicious iris note, which makes it really, really unique for a men's fragrance. Because a lot of men's fragrances, in my opinion, they're a little too harsh, a little too in your face, but the iris note in this one makes it very smooth. Not feminine, not too sweet, just kind of natural smoothness. Besides that, it's mixed with, plenty of other notes that give it this body, this character. This is a pretty fresh fragrance. It has this slight sweetness from the iris, and then it has this crispness, followed by... It reminds me a little bit of a cold kind of autumn or winter day. That crispness, clean, crisp sort of nature. So that makes it really good for daytime wear, and also good for warm weather, because, of course, it's just naturally refreshing. And it's a classic fragrance, anything from Dior, especially Dior Homme, a well-known fragrance. You can't really go wrong with it, because it is so pleasant. It's a tried, tested, and true fragrance. So there's that. Then, the intense version. I actually prefer the intense version because it is stronger, and it has some more interesting notes. It has the iris still, that's a persistent note. But besides that, it has this really delicious ambrette note, musk mallow. So that's kind of a light, slightly spicy kind of musk note. It also has some lavender. In general, this is probably one of my favorite fragrances. It's just pleasant. It has a little bit of sweetness, not too sweet. A little bit of muskiness, not too musky. It has everything, but not too much of anything. So extremely well balanced. Plus, it's a very strong fragrance. So you spray it once, it's gonna last all day easily. Great projection, great longevity. And it's a good alternative to the regular Dior Homme if maybe you've gotten tired of Dior Homme, or you just want kind of an alternative, still similar, but with enough differences to, like this. So basically, this is a really good fragrance for, I would say, all occasions. Because of its warmth, it would probably do a little bit better in colder weather, but not too important, This is a pretty versatile fragrance. So that's also a good option. Then, the other Dior fragrance, Tobacco Color here. This is the strongest out of my list here. This is a unisex tobacco fragrance, and despite being unisex, I would say it's a little bit more on the masculine side, just because tobacco in general is usually viewed as a more masculine note. Despite that, I wouldn't say this is an overpoweringly smoky or tobacco fragrance. This is probably the best balanced tobacco fragrance I have yet come across, because some are, too smoky, too much. This is really, really smooth. This is, you could tell it's refined. It's strong, but it's not harsh. It has pretty much everything you could want from a tobacco fragrance, which I really like. Sometimes I wear it myself because it is so pleasant for that sort of smokiness. And the main thing here, because it is a heavy fragrance, probably not best for hot weather. That's its main downfall. But besides that, Everything else is golden. It has great longevity, great projection. It smells great, of course. It's well crafted, being from Dior, so you're not going to have any issues there. And you pretty much get what you pay for. You know, it's a high quality product. Once you put it on, it's not going anywhere, which makes it really, really good for dinner, you know, going to a restaurant, going out in the evening. It's just nice, you know? And people will definitely notice it on you because it is strong enough, but it's not going to give people headaches. It's not going to give you a headache, you know? Like I said, balanced. Then, the other one that I have here is the famous Valentino Uomo. This is an interesting mixture of notes, for men especially. This has chocolate in it, notes of chocolate, which you almost never find in men's fragrances. And that makes it quite unique. You know, the other thing is that the chocolate note isn't really sugary sweet. I would say it's more dark chocolate sort of style, which is more earthy, kind of drier, not even a little bit bitter, you know? It's also mixed with roasted coffee beans, some leather thrown in there. So, with all those notes, it has that warmth, but it's not too heavy. Just reading the notes alone, you would think this is an extremely heavy, even overpowering fragrance, but not really. Surprisingly, they managed to balance this fragrance in a way that they could harness these notes without being too overwhelming, too heavy, you know. It's not going to drag you down. You could even wear this on a hot summer day because it's not that heavy. This is probably one of the most versatile men's fragrances I've come across. It really has... It's agreeable to most people. I think most people enjoy this fragrance. Because it has that warmth from, you know, the chocolate and the coffee, but at the same time, it has a certain very slight sweetness, a very slight lightness that it's nicely balanced, and it's just nice, you know? I haven't come across anyone who dislikes it. So that's a key bonus there. Then I have one more, which is another very famous option. This is Invictus from Paco Rabanne. This you're primarily getting a very fresh, crisp, and clean fragrance. Plenty of citrus notes. I've compared it in the past to Acqua di Gio. Of course, there are some differences. Acqua di Gio is a bit more herbal. This is more citrusy with a more prominent sweetness. But this is still a very crisp, kind of summertime, more casual sort of fragrance. And that makes it, of course, really, really good if you want to freshen up, if you want to wear something really bold, and that will catch people's attention, because this will easily do that. It's not quite as strong as some of these other ones, but it's still pretty strong, considering the notes that it has, which are lighter by nature. This is still, in general, a very well-rounded, well-balanced fragrance, and you could pretty much wear this anytime, anywhere. So there you go. That's all I have on my list. So if you have any opinions about these fragrances, you can always leave those down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.